Because I have the answer, and it's simple. In order to absorb it, you will need to put down your male ego and understanding of how the world works as a man to absorb this answer. So first of all, you have to decide if you want to do that, because right now it already seems like you don't want to do that.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So we are going to be kicking off today's episode with a clip from this woman right here, and it is absolutely hilarious, okay? She captions it, "Why I don't quote-unquote casually date anymore." So this is someone who has gone out there, she gets with dudes on a casual basis, and of course it bites her in the ass when she wants to come along and get commitment from a man. But guys, before we jump into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators, Hidan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg. They are putting out a lot of videos for you guys to enjoy, so in case you would like to suffer some more and see some more content like this, make sure that you go and show them some love. Their channels are linked in the video description. But without further ado, guys, let's take a listen to what this woman has to say and see how her love life is going for her, because of course she's decided to put it out on TikTok because, guys, where else would you vent about your love life? Am I right?
So I met this guy in a dating app and we both agreed that we wanted something casual, okay? And at the time I did want something casual. I really wasn't looking for a serious relationship, and we were having fun together. We were hanging out a lot, and eventually at some point or another, one of us was obviously bound to caught feelings, and it was me.
So let's pause it right there, okay? And this is the fantastic thing that a lot of these girls just fail to ever consider, okay? If you are on a dating app and you write or you know, say or communicate with the person that you are looking for something casual, okay? And then it comes time when you want to push for commitment and you want the guy to have a relationship with you, in the back of his mind, he's thinking to himself, I wonder how many other guys she's just had casual fun with. Like, am I supposed to have a long-term, serious relationship with this woman, potentially have kids, potentially marry her, take her seriously, when she views dating as something casual where she just goes around and has a bunch of fun with random dudes? It's like it just completely slips their mind, guys. For the most part, excuse me, men are not interested in dating 304s. For the most part, we're not interested in scrippers, we're not interested in prawn stars and OnlyFans girls, but these girls just never seem to get it through their head that maybe a guy doesn't want to date women who are going around on the internet looking for male validation or looking for dudes to have fun times with all of the damn time.
And I basically expressed to him that I wanted to date him, and he proceeded to not respond to that text for 2 days.
Let's pause it right here. She says, so she sent off the message to the guy, and then she writes here, Lamau, this is a red flag. Why is it a red flag for somebody that you're casually seeing to not respond to your message for 2 days? I'm sorry, what are you red flagging for? A relationship? You're the one who's pushing for a relationship. You don't get to say, this is a red flag. Right? A red flag. You weren't even looking for a relationship to begin with. You are now pushing for it, and then you have the audacity to say that he has red flags. Like, do you not see yourself and what you're doing? If you want a relationship, choose a man who is actually interested in you.
And then when he did respond, he said, I'm willing to see where it goes, which is not a yes or no answer at all. And I agreed to it. Let's see where it goes, whatever. I was still really confused. I had no idea if that meant if we were dating or not.
No. It means you're not dating. It means you're not serious. It means you're not his girlfriend. You're not going to be his wife. You're not going to be the mother of his kids. He's just like, you know what? I'll just keep her around for some bedroom fun and see where things go. But make no mistake, guys, a lot of men, when we're out here dating, if you know, a lot of dudes over here are choosing not to date at all. But for the guys who are dating, okay, when a guy's looking to take you seriously, he doesn't want some girl who's rambling on TikTok about her relationships or casually out here dating men. Like, casually dating, a lot of these girls, they really struggle because when it comes time to get commitment from a man, they just fail to realize what men actually want. They'll all chase the same guy who's attractive to a whole bunch of women and then cry about the fact that they can't get commitment. But when it comes to what men want, they never consider it. It's almost like you go into a business deal, guys, and you're like, yeah, I'd like to order 5 of these. Okay, or I want to get 5 of these. And then the person goes, okay, you know, pay up. And you're like, what do you mean I have to pay up? I thought you would just give me these 5 things for free. Because they never consider, guys, they never consider what the other person wants out of the transaction, out of the relationship, and they're just completely confused. Like, yeah, men have things that we'd want out of you as well. Like, men have standards, men have things that they're interested in, but a lot of girls will be upset if you sit there and you actually tell them, hey, we don't want OnlyFans workers. We don't want women who are active all the time on social media posting their booty. Okay? They're not good for relationships.
And then for the next 3 months, he proceeded to ruin my life. So this is your reminder. If a guy isn't saying yes, it's a no.
I'm going to play that last part back, guys, so you can really, you know, kind of hammer it home and listen to what she says here, because she did something beautiful where it's like she manages to just avoid accountability. Take a listen to this.
And then for the next 3 months, he proceeded to ruin my life.
I'm sorry, he ruined your life? He hasn't even... I'm going to pull this video up a bit better here. Okay? Look at this. She even wrote it on the thing. He proceeded to ruin my life. No, 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 no. You chose to continue to chase this man, even though he really demonstrated to you that he wasn't interested in commitment. And then you want to turn around and claim, you know, you have no accountability in this to take at all. So, like, let me guess, you're going to go into the next relationship with the dude or try and chase the next guy down and be like, oh, yeah, you know, my past relationships or situations have been really difficult. Yeah, no crap, they're difficult, because you're chasing people who are not, and you're doing this to yourself, and then you turn around and you blame it on the guy. The guy's been pretty upfront with you, all things considered. He said at the beginning he wanted something casual. Then he said that he's happy to see where things go. Very clearly just not really interested in commitment, especially at the beginning. But you want to turn around and say he ruined your life? Like, you chose these things. You made these decisions. Now it's time for you to rest in the bed that you made. Now, guys, we are going to be continuing into the next clip here. Now, truth be told, I haven't watched this one ahead of time, so I don't really know what's going to happen. But obviously, we have this lady here who has been covered multiple times on the channel. She is really not a fan of men, doesn't like us at all. So the content is probably going to be pretty good. Let's take a listen. And she is responding to the man in the hat, it looks like. So she's going to let him talk, then she's going to talk, and I'm sure she'll give us some content. So let's go in and see what she has to say.
Why does the mere suggestion of 50-50 dating trigger women all over the internet? Before y'all come at me.
First of all, you appear to be triggered in that video.
Of course. Who hurt you, madam? That's my question. You know what? We'll do a third-person reaction to this, okay? Who hurt you, madam? The guy is talking about 50-50 dating, which of course has clearly upset you because you've come along and you've done a stitch video to him, right? Looking very unimpressed when he's talking about 50-50 dating. It's like, guys, I say all these women who fought for equality, okay, all these girls who want to live like men, you want to be a boss babe, you want to be a queen, hey, that's totally cool. You live like a boss babe and a queen, and if you're all for equality, then hey, you shouldn't have a problem paying half the date. Here's the thing, guys. I think a lot of people get confused when I say this, okay? I don't care if a man wants to pay for the date, if a man wants to provide for his woman, totally cool, as long as it's the man's choice to do it, not because he's told to, not because he's instructed to, or he feels like he has to. It should be his choice whether or not to do that. But these women come along and literally get upset if you as a man don't pay for the whole thing. It's crazy.
And in order to absorb this answer, because I have the answer and it's simple, in order to absorb it, you will need to put down your male ego and understanding of how the world works as a man to absorb this answer. So first of all, you have to decide if you want to do that, because right now it already seems like you don't want to do that.
I assume that I would also, as a spectator to this, I would probably have male ego, given that I'm a male. I don't know where I put it. So, like, if you could instruct me, like, am I carrying it? How do I need to put it down? How much does it weigh? Like, what is this woman talking about, man? You know? Like, imagine if I came on these videos, guys, and I was like, wow, this woman who's clearly really upset here, it's just her female ego that's getting upset. Like, what are you talking about, dude?
On the off chance you do, understand that being alone as a woman with a man is dangerous. statistically dangerous. One of my mutuals posted this video yesterday. Women risk their lives just by being with a man because they are statistically that dangerous.
Hey, I think that's a valid point that she brings up. And if we're so dangerous, if we as men are so terrible, then you won't have any problem with us going our own way. Oh, that's right. Of course, guys, they do. Because when you as a man don't pay 50% of the date, if you don't pay for the date, excuse me, then we wind up with TikToks like this. So which exactly is it? Like, if men are so dangerous and awful, and we're so spooky to you, then surely you wouldn't have an issue with men not committing to you, with men not being interested in relationships or marriage. But, it seems to me like a lot of women are quite upset. Like literally the previous clip that I covered, ladies out here not too happy with the lack of commitment. But we as dangerous men, I suppose we should just steer clear. Guys, personally, right? Wouldn't it be funny if men were out here and we were like, yeah, I like to pump and dump women, I like to date women casually, make them invest in me and then ditch them. Why? Because I am a caring individual, guys, and I just don't want to be dangerous. I don't commit to women, guys, because I think, I'm just too much of a risk, to be honest.
Just because you are attracted to men does not mean you enjoy your time with most men. In fact, most of the time, you will be uncomfortable because a lot of times they're going to say something that either makes fun of your identity, objectifies you, sexualizes you, steps all over your boundaries, disrespects and disregards your boundaries, disrespects your career and your hobbies, disrespects your physical appearance, pressures you into doing something you don't want to do.
Okay, so let's pause it right here. She's gone through a myriad of things, and these are all things, by the way, the dudes have commented to her about. I'm sure of it, because previously when my editor has made thumbnails for these videos, we've covered this woman before. If you want to sit here and you want to talk about dudes objectifying you and dudes looking at your hobbies and making fun of you, the reason why she brings up these things, by the way, guys, is because her Instagram consists of photos of her. This woman right here complaining about objectification has half-naked photos of herself on Instagram. Right, so I'm confused. Men are not supposed to objectify you, but you post photos all the time of you objectifying yourself. So that there doesn't make sense. Dudes making fun of your hobby. So obviously this woman is kind of pressed about dudes making fun of her hobby, which from memory she does like painting or something. And I'll be honest, it ain't all that good. So like this is the internet, guys. Like, I don't understand what people expect, right? They get upset when people leave mean comments on their videos. Guys, if I changed my content every time somebody left a mean video, I would be changing my videos like every hour. So I don't know what this woman's hopes are here.
There's a lot of shit, okay? And so for a woman to expect at least the promise of dinner.
No. I'm going to have to stop you there. No, because, as a kind, caring, compassionate man, I personally think that perhaps I'm a little bit too dangerous, and I don't really want to commit that hard and give you dinner because I might turn rabid at any moment, So, like, maybe it's best if we skip the part where I pay for you, but I assure you it's completely out of compassion.
In the face of the risk of all that shit, in order for her to potentially find a mate, because she might still be attracted to men, but most men make her uncomfortable. That is.
If they make you uncomfortable, then don't date them. Let me get this straight. So this woman's logic is, because men are dangerous and we make mean comments, that means that men should have to pay for dinner. Maybe don't go out on dates with men that you don't like. I know that's super crazy. Maybe if you don't like all men and we represent all of these things for you, maybe just sit at home and don't date. There are a lot of dudes right now who are watching this channel who are not interested in dating, period, and they have no issue sitting at home, doing their hobbies, going out fishing, whatever the case may be. Men can find peace in those things. But if your argument is that men should have to pay for things for you because you find us inherently repulsive, that makes little sense to me.
Is not a lot to ask. And if you have a daughter, sir, and she grows up and wants just a little bit of collateral in order for her to put herself in a one-on-one situation with a man where she may feel unsafe, you would not think it's too much. Did
this woman just refer to a dinner date as collateral? collateral. So let me get this straight. I'm going on a date with a woman and I'm paying the bill, not because I want to, okay, not because I respect the girl or because I'm interested in her or I want to show her, you know, that I have some provider qualities, that I'm a nice guy to be around, and I would potentially care about her, invest in her. No, I'm not doing these things because of anything along those lines. I'm doing it because I'm providing collateral. Is that what this woman is saying? So rather than go on a dinner date and actually pay for a woman because you care, because you're interested in putting the right foot forward, or maybe you just feel like doing it because you feel like being kind, okay? We're doing it as men because it should be collateral, because we're spooky. I might be missing something here, man.
Also encourage you to speak to your mother. I also get confused when men ask these things, because if you did, I'm not going to assume that you had a mother growing up. I don't know what your family dynamics was, but if you had a mother.
So you won't assume his family structure, but you'll assume that he's dangerous and that he as a man is going to say any number of things that are going to deeply upset you on a very deep level. Interesting, right? It's like the fake compassion comes out. It's like, I'm not going to assume this thing about you, like you don't have a mother, but I did assume like 50 things about your gender previously, like 1 second ago, but I just want to make sure that I'm perceived at least slightly like a kind individual.
Chances are she was responsible for getting the home running. She was responsible for a lot of the big family events. She put in a lot of unpaid labor. Think about that. Like, when men ask these questions, I'm like, do you not have a mom? Did you not see her do most of the work? Did you not conceptualize what percentage, what that's really worth? And here's the thing. The real misunderstanding is that you think the world is aligned with money.
I mean, you're the one talking about, literally a millisecond ago, talking about how much that quote-unquote unpaid labor is worth. Now, let me tell you something. There are a lot of guys who are living monk mode, so to speak, who are living by themselves, who can run that calculation and go, yeah, you know what? It's actually a lot cheaper to have a maid, to have a cook, to have someone who looks after the house, than to have a wife, than to have a long-term girlfriend. Like, if you really want to sit down and you want to crunch those numbers, maids are cheaper than having a wife or a long-term girlfriend. They really are, especially if they come with all of this complaining and all of this bullcrap, right? It really is that simple. So don't sit here and talk like, oh, you know, but why is everything got to be about money, when literally a second ago you were talking about how much would this be worth, this unpaid labor? Like, the cognitive dissonance, guys, and the lack of logic here is starting to melt my brain. So I think that might do it for today's clip here, and we're going to continue into the next portion of today's episode before my tiny animated head implodes. So let me pull up the screen here. We have here a Reddit story. We're doing a little bit of a return of these guys, because, you know, when I record these videos for like 10, 20, 25 minutes straight, whatever the case may be, I just can't listen to the individuals talk anymore, because there is just straight up no logic right there. So let's jump into today's Reddit article. Now, this is a funny one, okay? So this is some woman's friend who has sent her husband a love letter. So it's a little bit hard to explain, guys, but I found this and I thought you all would find it absolutely hilarious. And we're just going to jump right in and kind of break it down as we go through. So it is titled, "My friend wrote a seemingly romantic letter to my husband. I, a female, am married. My friend, who is a female, is also married. All parties are in their 40s. She wrote the following note and slipped it to my husband, told him to quote-unquote burn it, and that there's more where that came from." So here we have the note, and I'm not going to read out each of these points because it makes me want to headbutt a pencil. But let's have a little bit of a read here. I just want to fall back into the cradle of your arms. I don't even know how to reach you. What parts of me do I open to draw you in? Jeez, man. Everything between us is made of smoke and fire. Nothing feels more important to me than holding on to your gaze. There's just nowhere else I want to be. Your eyes are my escape. I try to string together every broken moment we have collected. But when I am locked onto you, blah, blah, blah. So basically, this woman has written this other woman's husband a bit of a love letter here. Now let's hear their take on it. "My husband told me about the letter. He called up the friend's husband and gave the letter to him. Since the letter came to light, I've barely spoken to this friend. She has implied that her actions are not what I think they are, and that there is an alternative meaning to her words. I don't believe her and haven't allowed her back into my life. What little contact I have had with her since this has been gracious and open to talking about things. Admittedly, I have not been civil. The heartbreaking thing here is that she was truly a dear friend, and I miss this friendship. Yet speaking with her seems like I am setting myself up for potential games or manipulation. Also, there have been other sketchy ways that she has been interacted with my husband in the past, but I've always given her the benefit of the doubt. The distance I've kept from her has affected multiple other friendships. For instance, my husband and her husband no longer hang out, not because they don't want to be friends, but because of the strain related to how the feelings towards this previously close and dear friend, blah blah blah. And this is just one of the many relationships in our circle that have become strained or broken in the wake of this. So basically, this woman's friend has decided to try and poach this woman's husband. And guys, this is something funny that you will see all of the time, okay? If you sit down and you talk with a girl and you ask her about situations like these, like, oh, have you ever had a friend try and steal your boyfriend? Or have you ever seen other women try and steal each other's boyfriends? The answer is pretty much always yes. And I find that to be a very telling thing, guys, because what you'll notice is a lot of girls, they will sit there and they'll try and convince you. They'll say things like, what they'll do is they will chase dudes who already have women around them, right? So they'll try and poach each other's boyfriends, they'll try and poach each other's relationships, and it's just really a disgusting thing to watch how exactly common it is. Let's keep going here. Is it possible that there is an alternative meaning to her words? No, there isn't, and that I have jumped to conclusions. This woman seems kind of reasonable, right? She's trying to give her friend the benefit of the doubt. She's really trying to not assume the worst in other people. But I don't think it's going to cut it. That message was pretty cut and dry to me. Is there any benefit in talking about it with her, or should I just walk away? For my part, it feels very much like our friendship has become untenable. For her part, I don't get the sense she takes responsibility for the betrayal of her words, even when I went to hear her out. I don't think I could believe whatever alternative meaning or benevolent intentions that she may offer me. It doesn't seem to register with her how those words appear to mean and the multi-level betrayal they represent. I feel like I am being gaslit. Yeah, your friend is not really a friend. She's kind of a terrible person. Right, this woman should obviously just cut off her friend immediately. Her friend has done something quite awful to her and really quite disgusting. And it's a good thing that her husband has turned around and gone, hey, here's the note. Your friend might not be all that she cracked up to be. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. As always, remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our other content creators, Hidan from Peace of Mind and Detective Warg. And as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace. Yo guys, it's Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's episode. Before you go, remember to subscribe to our other Fiend Gang members. Their channels will be linked in the video description. Our newest member is Detective Warg, so make sure that you go and show him some love. He's putting out daily content for you guys. Also, one of the characters I use and also a lot of our thumbnail artwork is done by an artist called The Gecko Ninja. He's absolutely fantastic, and his socials are going to be linked in the video description as well if you want to commission him for some amazing art. Otherwise, take it easy, gents, and I will see you all in the next episode. Peace.